Hey, this is Enigma Hood doing a review of Sonic Colors. Sonic Colors is the best 3D Sonic game ever created. I just want to get that out of the way before anything else. This game eschews all the gimmicky gameplay styles from the previous games, has no camera angle problems, no town missions to artificially extend the length of the game, and no oversaturation of Sonic characters to detract from the main character Sonic. The plot in the game is actually pretty good. It's simple and doesn't take itself too seriously at all. Eggman is claiming he is making amends for his transgressions in the past and building an amusement park. Of course, it turns out it's just a front for him kidnapping aliens called Wisps, and Sonic and Tails have to stop him. Unlike previous Sonic games, the story doesn't detract from the gameplay at all. In fact, as soon as you start the game, you immediately begin the first mission, and there's no overly long or boring introduction. When the storyline cutscenes do begin, they are much more palatable than the cutscenes in previous Sonic games. Sonic and Tails have new voice actors, and although opinions are mixed about them, I found them to be great. Roger Craig Smith voices Sonic, and his style emulates Jaleel White's take on Sonic, and feels very reminiscent of Sonic's attitude and mannerisms from the old Sonic cartoons we grew up with in the 90s. In fact, the whole story feels like a Saturday morning cartoon, and that's not a bad thing. The characters will even poke fun at the redundant plot contrivances that the Sonic series is notorious for. I actually found myself laughing out loud near the end right before the final stage. This is something I've never done before in a Sonic game. The story was actually penned by Ken Pontac and Warren Graff, who wrote the story for Mad World, and they did an excellent job. I hope they continue to write the plots for future Sonic games. The gameplay in Sonic Colors is great. Like I said before, there's no gimmicky crap like Werehogs or treasure hunting missions, it's just pure Sonic gameplay. At first glance it appears that it's just the gameplay from Daytime Unleashed, but that's not completely accurate. Daytime Unleashed had a focus on 3D gameplay, behind the back running towards the background at breakneck speed, with a few 2D sections thrown in for good measure. The 2D sections in Unleashed seem more of an afterthought and didn't control very well. But in Sonic Colors, the 2D sections are the main focus of the gameplay. Sonic controls much better in these segments than he did in Unleashed. Some characterize the controls a little floaty, but it's actually necessary in order to do all the platforming that's required in this game, and there's quite a bit of platforming. This is where the main challenge of the game comes from, and you will die a lot as a result, but I've never felt that the game was unfair or unforgiving, and when I died, it felt like it was my fault. There is a little trial and error here and there, but it's kept to a minimum. The vast majority of the gameplay is in the 2D perspective, and while that's alright, I did feel like they could have done more with the 3D segments. I hope in a future Sonic iteration they put more of a focus on improving the 3D segments and making them more robust and challenging without being unfair or trial and error based. The Wisps are the new gameplay mechanic in Sonic Colors, and unlike previous gameplay innovations in older Sonic games, this new Wisp mechanic works very well. The Wisps grant Sonic new powers and abilities that allow Sonic to explore new areas and overcome obstacles. New Wisps are unlocked as the game progresses, and players can replay older stages with these new Wisps and access new areas and paths. Sonic Colors also brings back the element of exploration that the old 2D games had. Scattered on each level are red rings hidden in the level that players are encouraged to find. These rings unlock bonuses and enhance the replayability of the game tremendously. However, the game is quite short, sadly. If a player breezes through the game without going back to previous stages to improve their score or explore new Wisps, the game can be completed in as little as 5 or 6 hours. The graphics in Sonic Colors are amazing, definitely one of the best looking titles found on the Wii. Sonic Team really put a lot of effort into making Sonic look great. He looks even better than he did in the Wii version of Unleashed. The colors are vibrant and all the stage themes are unique and well made. Sound in Sonic Colors is also equally amazing. The music is top-notch. Jean Paul from the American band Cash Cash performed the main theme and the ending theme, Reach for the Stars and Speak with Your Heart. The stage music is also great, very melodic tracks that mesh perfectly with their respective level themes. Sonic Colors is the game that has revitalized Sonic in 3D and on the main console platforms. It will be the model to base all future Sonic games on. Not once will you feel like the game is cheap. It's apparent that Sonic Team put a lot of effort into this title and they did a fantastic job. But with all that said, Sonic Colors is not perfect. The game is quite short, and more should have been done to enhance the 3D gameplay experience. But these are things that can be improved upon in future Sonic titles, hopefully appearing on the 360 and PlayStation 3. Sonic Colors gets a well-deserved 8.7 out of 10.